Okay, welcome back to another video analysis. Today we've got Drew and he's doing a back roll. Drew, all in all, like, it's pretty good. I think the theory of what you're trying to do is excellent. You know, you're trying to build it up, and then while you're building up, like, release it to the side. Couple little pointers here. This is the type of back roll that if you were to try enough of them, like, you would land it eventually, like once you got used to the confidence of being upside down and where the water is and committing to the landing. But there's a couple of little pointers to help make it more efficient so that you don't have to edge so hard, and to also help you out with the timing. So, you know, like if we go through like your back roll here, we'll just watch it. You know, you sent it to me in slow-mo, so here it is all the way through. Okay, but if we go sort of step by step, like as we get into this, from, you know, it's a progressive edge, right? So where you're trying to like progressively build it up, and once you build it up, release it once it's built. And by built, I mean edging. So leaning and edging are the same thing. Okay, so first off, if you go from zero being flat and then you come out of that turn, that edge is really, really aggressive over the first quarter. And if you look, it's hard to see. You'll have to look at your own video on your phone. The back corner of your board, so the tail toe side corner, okay, is actually blown out of the water because, you know, you've really brought that edge on a little too aggressive on the outside. So as soon as you blow the tail out, you're not as efficient in trapping the energy beneath your board that you want to use later on. So I would definitely, you know, slow that turn down so that, you know, you're not encouraged to blow that tail out. Okay, now if you were to take a look here, one thing that you don't have to change, but I would recommend it, is if you take a look at your lean, I like that it tips up, and I like that, you know, you're really using your shoulders to approach the wake, but you are quite front foot heavy here. Like if you look at like your shoulders even, you know, like if I draw a line through your shoulders, you're leaning like at the wake. Like, so, you know, if you lean straight back down the line, your front shoulder will be elevated a little bit because, you know, your board, this is your board in the water, and you're perpendicular to the board. And so, like, when you lean straight back down the line, that front shoulder visually from the boat should look a little bit higher. So the fact that your shoulders are parallel with the water means that you're leaning at the wake a little bit, like you're a bit front foot heavy, and that makes it hard to like ride up the wake. So just slow down the turn, and then once you want to bring on like the lean, make sure that it's straight back down the rope to load up so that your weight stays closer to even. Okay. Now, again, like I said, like the theory of what you're trying to do is excellent. Now, as you're coming in here, you know, like let's say you've got like a nice, you know, 7 out of 10 on the lean. If you go through the spray line to the wake, and if I was beside you, like your lean from the spray line, let's call it like a 7 there, and into the base of the wake, if I was beside you, it's actually come forward a little bit. You know, so going on the theory of, you know, you need your hardest edge like through the wake, you know, your hardest edge was somewhere just outside of the spray line. So again, like if you slow that arc down on the turn, that will help through this middle section here, because if you get on the edge that you want before you go through the wake, you know, the boat will start to pull you flat. Like you can't physically maintain like that lean against the boat. So, you know, just trying to stay, you know, slower and calmer on the outside here so that you can save it, you know, through the spray line and up the wake. Now, I will say that once you become like a little bit more efficient in that, you won't even have to feel that, you know, we're calling this a 7, like you won't even have to feel that you have to, you know, load up to a 7 to get this done. So, you know, next step, again, like what I really like is, you know, the timing of what you're doing as far as when you want to like initiate this is pretty good. You know, like, you know, you've sent your shoulder and you've sent your hip, and, you know, like everyone's got like a little bit different opinion what you do with your head, but I like what you're trying to do here. But what I'm looking for here is that as you go up the wake, you know, like I should clearly see the bottom of your board. Okay, And because I can't see the bottom of your board, that just comes back to these steps where you're hard and you're releasing all the way through the spray line up the wake. It's a really like long release. And again, that also comes back to just starting off slower so you can hold that driving edge like through the wake while you're trying to release it. Remember, your goal here is to release while leaning. Now, another thing that a coach is looking for, like in an analysis, is as you get through here, you should be looking that your board should continue the arc of what you've started here, meaning it actually travels kind of like a golf club follow through. It goes, sort of away from the boat, kind of over your shoulder this way. But if I was beside you, the nose of your board, because of all the stuff back here, the nose of your board stays really square of you a really, really long time, meaning you're not getting that edge through and away from the boat. And what that results in, like when you come around, even if you were to hang on here, more than likely the nose of the board is going to clip the rope, okay? So what we're after, kind of like the full review here, is to slow down on the outside so that you can make the drive, from the spray line and up the wake. Make sure that the drive is straight back down the line. Also, so that you get that whole edging through and that release while leaning, what you can do here is just try to stay two hands a little longer. Because as soon as you take that hand off and it moves outside of this hip, that's also where you start to like show us your back rather than keep the chest of the boat a little longer. And it doesn't really matter like if you think this is Mexican or progressive, the theories are still the same, the release is different. And then, what that'll do is if you look at your roll here, I've kind of got like a little bit of a pattern like this for you. And what you'll end up getting with a little bit more efficient on the takeoff is you'll end up with kind of more of this pattern, right? You'll edge less, but you'll go higher, you'll finish early, you'll spot your landing, and you're getting that edge away from the boat. Like you won't have like this nose potentially like clipping the line, like it'll come underneath you like a lot easier. So I like your theories of what you're doing. I think that you're doing really good. Normally, like I would assess like your wake jump and how you edge progressively, but obviously kind of in like a video analysis, that's a little hard to do. And I feel like if you're out there trying it, you might as well have some help doing it.